He's young and he's talking about trips and it's kind of the
For
drawers.
example, you're like at a family reunion
See who
and
this
your
guy is.
cousin is asking you, hey, I haven't seen you since
We're
last
talking
year.
about
What have you been
our
up to?
friend
And instead of answering them in a
Victor
normal,
Burkhart. Hey Victor,
human, social
how you
way,
doing?
a
I'm listening
smooth
to your
way, and
video
telling them,
and I'm going to do
well,
a little reaction.
I got
to it.
promoted and
I
I
hope you
started
don't mind.
dating this girl and this happened and
Well,
I
I do
created this
that.
thing, instead of doing
Let's take a look at the
that,
room and what's going on. That's the door.
you're so deep into spiritual stuff that when she asks you, your cousin asks you, hey, what have you been up to the past year? You just look at her like,
Not
drooling.
finished.
You can't even answer.
And that's the window. That's the bed. I haven't made the bed yet.
We don't
Don't
want
last.
that. That's not a good thing.
So we're working on
Okay, that's not a good
cleaning up
thing.
the room. The limpia.
You need to be able to relate to other
So,
people and to
I'm
act
gonna listen to what you got to say.
confidently. And this is another issue I see. Really, this is like a side issue to the dangers and risks, but specifically with the non-dual stuff and the no-self stuff and the you don't exist stuff, these sorts of teachings, they really fuck up your ability to be confident and act in the world as the character you are. Because you're starting to see through the illusion of the person that you think you are, of the character that you're playing, and you can't even hold a conversation. It's almost like throwing a wrench into this very complex mechanism that is your body and mind and the biological system, the creature that you are, and the intelligence that is innately coursing through your veins. A lot of these spiritual realizations and non-dual insights are like throwing a fucking wrench into that. And you see, this is where some non-dual person would, probably be writing a comment already saying something like, well, yeah, that's the point. It's supposed to stop the ego and kill the ego. That's ego death. That's the whole point of waking up, is that you see through the ego. I disagree. I do not think that your spiritual work should get to the point to where you are incapable of relating to another human being. Now, maybe there's some phases and periods you go through where you need to be more reclusive in hermit mode. Sure, that's one thing, but some of the stuff I've observed and stories I've read, these people have completely gone off the deep end with the spiritual stuff, and they fucked their lives.
Let's
And
define fuck your life,
it's
because
not
I've fucked my life a
healthy
lot,
and it's
and
not
my
good.
life is still pretty well. Let's think about that for a minute, man.
So
What does it mean to fuck your life? What if your life fucked up is what needs to be?
you need to be careful, and you need to remember that just because you're seeing through the illusion of the person and the character does not mean that acting as a character in the world is a bad thing. In fact, if your awakening is integrated properly, it should free you to play the character you are to the utmost degree. It should liberate you to really play into the character you want to be in the world, to sort of max out your stats, so to speak. It should not make you this insecure, indecisive, doubtful, shy human. It should liberate you to be confident and to be a character. And I mean that in a technical sense, in sort of the non-dual technical sense, but I also mean that in sort of the common parlance sense of like, that person's a character. Awakening should free you to be your most authentic, invigorated self. You should not be the sort of cut off, low energy, distorted self. So you need to be mindful of when the spiritual work you're doing is destabilizing your life too much.
Take it away.
Some people will tell you that it's a good thing, you should uproot your life because it's all an illusion and, you're living a lie. I disagree. I think you should take a balanced, measured approach to spiritual work. And I think that if you have a profound mystical experience or non-dual awakening, you need to be very mindful of how you integrate that into your life. And you need to remember that it's important to stay grounded. And like Ram Dass said, you should not be so enlightened that you forget your social security number. That's basically the whole point of this video, is don't forget your social security number when doing deep spiritual work. Don't forget that the world of form, the social jungle you're a part of, is still...
Don't forget that you're in the battle for your soul.
The whole point of being here, in a sense. If you just throw out your entire human life for non-dual awakening, you're going to be dead in a few weeks because you're not going to have food, you're going to be evicted, you're not going to have a vehicle, you're going to be under a bridge when it's negative 10 degrees out and you're going to freeze to death. So all the non-dual videos you're watching on YouTube won't really matter then. So, I'm being pretty harsh, but the reason why I'm being so harsh is because this is a very real risk. People have killed themselves. They've went fucking crazy off the deep end. That happened to me to a certain extent, and I'm lucky I'm still alive, to be honest with you, after what I went through. And it's because I didn't stay grounded. I didn't integrate this stuff into my life, and I got so hypnotized by this lifestyle of mysticism that I forgot I'm a white American man in 2026. A young white American guy that needs to figure shit out. So that's the reality of the situation. So I'm speaking from experience here. I'm not just making this up. And I actually urge you to research and read and learn about these people that have had profound awakenings and then completely thrown their lives out the window. Got a divorce, gave away all their money, quit their job, and then, within a few months or years, they realize how big of a mistake that was and how much that set them back, and how there was healthier, more conscious ways of integrating these teachings into your life. And it's going to be difficult because, honestly, you have one of these experiences and you're like, what's the fucking point? What's the fucking point? If it's an infinite mind and it's infinite love, and this whole thing is an illusion that my mind is fabricating, then nothing matters. And that's true, nothing matters.
No, that's wrong.
That's what makes it so dangerous. It's not that you're just believing that story, but you actually awaken to that truth.
It matters more than before.
And that's when you do some stupid shit. So you have to be very careful of how your mind uses and relates to these teachings and experiences, because no matter how much you tell yourself your ego is gone and you've had a pure 100% ego death, it's not going anywhere. It might dissolve it might restructure, but it's not completely gone. As long as you are in this human form, you have an ego. You have a sense of self. That's not going to change until you transition from this realm into whatever the next one is. So you're always going to have an ego. You're always going to need to survive. And as profound as these experiences can be, they're not going to change that. So be careful with deep spiritual work. I'm not saying do not do it. I'm not saying do not take a psychedelic. I think everyone should. In fact, I think most people need to do more of it because they're so oblivious, they're so unconscious to the fucking miracle that life is. The fact that we are conscious at all is a fucking miracle, and most people are completely blind to that, wrapped up in petty shit, distracted by drama and pointless, dumb shit, that they need to spend more time doing spiritual work. They need to take more psychedelics, but that's not who I'm talking to. I'm talking to my audience, and my audience are to those of you that have been interested in this work, that know what non-duality means. That's who I'm talking to. So, for my audience, this is the warning, is to be careful with how far you take this, because you can really screw up your life, and you can screw yourself up in a relative human way. You can completely kill your confidence, completely kill your decisiveness. You can fall into a deep state of disillusionment and confusion and indecision. And we don't want that to happen. We want to have these mystical experiences and awakenings, and we want to live an enlightened life in a healthy, conscious way, where we are still able to operate in a highly functional way in the world, while at the same time being awake and aware of these deeper truths. So it's not one or the other, it's both. Which is why Ram Dass said, 1 foot in form, 1 in formless. What did he mean by that? He meant maintain the stability of your human life, while at the same time being awake and conscious of these deeper spiritual truths. That you are not a person. You are the infinite mind. You are infinite consciousness looking through a human's eyes. And everyone looking back at you is that as well. But you still gotta play your part. You're still a character in this play. So you can know the play is a play, but you're still in the play. And in the play, it's life or death. So that's the paradox. That's what makes it so trippy. That's why spiritual work is fucking crazy. That's why awakening blows your mind. Because it's not just as simple as, yeah, everything's love. No, it's everything's love, and at the same time, this world is a fucking jungle, and everything's trying to take me out and kill me. And yet it's all still love. That's the profundity of it. The grizzly bear chasing me down in the forest is God.
Exactly.
and yet I'm still gonna fucking run for my life.
The grizzly bear is God.
That's the paradox.
And that's
So,
beautiful because if God wins, God wins. God can't lose.
stay in the middle. Don't go too far to one side. You go too far to non-dual God realization mode, you're gonna end up dead. You're gonna do some stupid shit. You're gonna lose your house, your car, your job, your family, your relationships, your money, and you're gonna end up dead. But if you go too far into the play and you forget the truth, well, that's not good either, because then you're just gonna endlessly and needlessly suffer and create problems for yourself. Endlessly create problems. And you're going to be miserable because you have forgotten the truth of what you are. So, extremes are never a good option. It's always a balance in the middle. And the balance will change depending on the season of life you're in. If you've been too far into the play and you're too disillusioned with being a human and success and competition and winning and then you might need to lean more heavily to get back to center. You might need to lean more heavily into your spiritual life to get back to center. So it's an ebb and a flow. But what you'll intuitively know if you're either missing that spiritual connection, that consciousness, and you're living like a robotic zombie, getting caught up in pointless petty drama and doing stupid shit, or you'll know if you're going too deep with spiritual work because you'll feel like your entire reality is fucking melting and you can't even answer your cousin at a family reunion of what you did the past year because you're so freaked out that there's no boundaries between anything. And it's this seamless, infinite ocean of oneness. So, be careful. There's real dangers. It's not all rainbows and butterflies. If you're doing tarot and astrology, then this video wasn't for you. There's no dangers of doing that, although you can really deceive yourself with stuff like that, but that's a topic for another video. We'll talk about that another time. But this is for the spiritual nerds. This is for the people that have done intense, disciplined, existential spiritual work, identity spiritual work, non-dual spiritual work. People that have taken psychedelics and have had profound mystical experiences and awakenings. That's who this video is for. So, if that resonates with you, and if that's you, then be careful. Hope this helped.
Durante casi 1500 años, 42 páginas de la Biblia estuvieron perdidas. No fueron quemadas, no fueron robadas, no se hundieron en ningún naufragio. Simplemente desaparecieron de una forma mucho más extraña. Fueron escondidas dentro de otros libros, dormidas bajo capas de tinta negra, cosidas en las cubiertas de manuscritos que nada tenían que ver con ellas, esperando en silencio durante siglos a que alguien supiera comunicarlas. Hasta que un profesor de Escocia logró leer lo que la Biblia escondía. Y lo que esas páginas revelan no es un versículo nuevo, ni un evangelio prohibido. es algo
or
que
what?
en lo personal me parece todavía más inquietante. La prueba de que la Biblia que hoy descansa en tu casa no se lee como se leía hace 1500 años. El mapa interno de las Sagradas Escrituras cambió con los siglos y casi nadie lo sabe. Quédate hasta el final, porque cuando termine este documental, no volverás a mirar el índice de tu Biblia con los mismos ojos. Porque hay un detalle en este hallazgo, una nota escrita al final de una de las cartas, que conecta estas páginas con una biblioteca que desapareció de la faz de la tierra hace más de 1000 años. Y ese detalle te lo contaré al final. Y yo soy el documentalista. Y esto es... Encuentran 42 páginas perdidas de la Biblia.
Let's talk about psychedelics, my response to this. So, having been to jails and insane asylums, and frozen myself up the mountain, high as fuck. What was that? Was that high as fuck? I don't remember. Probably not as high as.
Well, now, my dear, where
Every step leads you to the next step. Psychedelic journeys are like a ladder where you go either lower or higher, but further away. I would have to rather go higher than say further away. What is further away? Further away is the vision of the world the way you see it. Minnesota. When I'm forced to break all my conventions and use the demonstration of the bomb against every
Never
single
tried it, too bad
I do so because something in the psychedelic journey itself.
you didn't live in my time. I'm dangerous, they bring to reality.
Still lasted a while, but I left. And it was my
Too
ego
bad
that allowed the negative influences.
might have been lost in time.
So in a sense, I feel very guilty.
Where the dogs were at my time.
What happened happened. Nothing wrong with entering our lives.
But war,
Without effect.
war down.
fight war, sex war, and they be crazy.
It is what it is. You can't separate the journey from the journeyman. So psychedelics are just
Everything, please.
tunnels, portals, take you somewhere else. And that somewhere else is where you should be doing what you should be doing. You don't know that until you do it. That unity that we all feel at the tremendous level of sensitivity can escape it. When you hang in there, you actually fuse into whatever it is. You chaotic and you move along with it.
No more copyright,
There's
no more copyright.
that is a journey.
This is the
And
time.
it's always happened, always happened. Like,
No more right and wrong. No more the line. No more lines and borders. It's Mr. Nuevo
Whatever it is that this great jihad takes us to. Being afraid of it is not part of the view. On the contrary, it's passing right through it and going right through it. Because we're not this body. My mom has come to me many times after that. Like, I brought her a little box. When she told me what I was going to do, actually I told her something like that. So, she doesn't touch children. They're pure. This is my lunch. Oh my goodness. Let's do some
Una bajeza. Quiero mi tortura. De carnacita, pero no salta la
First of
multa.
all,
Yo quiero meditar, yo sí quiero saber.
people we love, people we trust, people who can take care of us when the need arises, especially if they're having bad family. Timmy Frog and Toad Venom. Well, one of the principal causes of me leaving Spider Bravo and taking care of my eyes, which is also part of the reason. Because they expanded the psychedelic journey bigger
In order to make it more 20 now,
my mom was angry.
we have
Mom
to
was angry. Yeah, that's
turn around the pole,
So we were not getting anywhere soon.
play the Mary
We
Poppins.
were not evolving out of our different roles. We were not taking new chances and adventures. The Toad Venom showed me that. Showed me how. Gave me the power, I think, to do what I had to do. And I did. I go to my mom's altar, which is next to her, of course. Sorry about that. And then ask for forgiveness. I forgive it. I did. Did she? Did. pasta.
You know how I am about butter.
Totally right. Been doing it for a long time. As well as potatoes.
Maybe hush, I should get out.
4 minutes. Correct. Yeah. Real fire. When I say my mother, Dad says that I crushed her at the end. Some words to me.
No, sweetheart, it's
When I crush her, then I save her.
it's just a I just bagged it with something else.
Back to the save her. I think I
I don't know why
did.
they
You remember?
it's just a piece
Pretty
of
rough.
paper.
Last year, when I was a kid. And I authorized,
Got out to sign a nice
she was suffering a lot. So she was out of the pain. Arthritis and leg.
I'm a crutches. Ladies here, ladies and gentlemen.
She did that. But I did it to save her.
Got out to bed, got his face high.
She said the road to Dallas gave me good intentions. It was the last moment when his life fell.
Got me bed is quite alright.
Are all the moments of past lives of people that fell.
But something is mine.
And you're dying in the correct form, in the correct way, in the correct moment. I'm very happy that my mother died in the house. Extremely happy about that. She would have died in the hospital. Somebody, I wouldn't have heard her last words. I would have known that her last words were Sacagawea, Sacagawea. You know how many breaths she took in her last moment? She took 3 breaths. 3 exhales to get her soul. And that's the type of shit you don't want to miss when somebody close to you dies. You want to be there next to them.
What else do I
And
have
yet,
to
even
tell?
as I say that, I'm thinking, well, I'm going to die alone.
Everything's well.
Like choice. This is the right way to die.
They're visiting with the music But she has to do something, no? Actually, when you are
So that's my reaction
born
to
in the
the
United
Sacagawea
States,
video.
but still
What you guys think of it?
there, I don't know how long
It's
you
good
have.
lunch. It's good lunch. It's good lunch.
Your rights or whatever.
15-year-old
Safety cap, usually there, because the
really real
as a child.
long-term relationship.
Do you think it went when you were
Very
born
good.
in Mexico?
Growing up as the biggest one. Be a successful person. And a good person. Very much.
Sounded a lot better if you could have won the.
But one has to analyze oneself. Look at these things oneself and say, well, Am I in the right side of history? Am I doing the right things? Am I, you know, am I in the right side of history? Especially wants to run from there, which is pretty stupid. So I have a soup stock. Mushy al dente. Mushy al dente. Kind of like mushy al dente. We got some Caesar left. There you go.
Life is beautiful. It's beautiful.
So what we're gonna do? This is my lunch. Mushy al dente stroganoff in a kind of creamy stock. I used all the milk. I used a quart of milk with some water, and I'm gonna put the remains of this creamy Caesar because why not? The same microwave you too. My dad says he made an experiment with water. An experiment. My nomination to Royal Race. And yeah, literally. Got it on the ballot. Where's my campaign? I'm going to do the Big Brother campaign, which is kind of sensible. The moment I become mayor of LA, I lose any right to privacy forever. So I have to be filmed 24/7 during the revenue. So folks can see that I don't benefit personally from whatever I'm doing, but I just follow the will of the people. Now, the question is, what is good to people? The people are very dumb. People are actually dumb animals that are led easily by their lowest vices. If you don't believe me, just spend some time downtown LA. Yet the majority of who are here will probably want to go with whatever I do. Still not convinced I want to run for mayor. I mean, everything I'm doing seems to lead in that election. But there's this whole, the people have godly curse. The guy that, pulls another's mother and murders his father and becomes mayor, king or whatever of Thebes. By answering who? Of the Sphinx. And that curse, I really love the mother. I love the mother way more than anything. I love the mother. I would be lying if I said I didn't. I wouldn't lie. Unfamiliar would I? Do that. So I don't know. There's a part of me that thinks maybe it happened to it. Because I've seen it all happen before. There was a big war, by the way. And the mayor wins the war. It's like a big cataclysmic event between two nations. And that was actually wins that. And it is what it is, man. So I don't know. I love Crossroads. Except I'm not, am I? Saturday. Absolutely can't. Oh, yeah. Jim Hook.
I feel better about myself and my life and my this, it's been cool.
Not a broken
It's going to where the pain is.
Pleasure is me. The first votes I would seek for in this campaign would be my sisters and my mother.
Looking at
Stepmother. My stepmother and my sister are actually the wisest women I know. I know my next sister, that one is 40. Let's put everything I do. Because we support each other, And my kids, I don't know. My kids, I don't know what they're doing. But, anyways, this is lunch. Well, now, my dear, where do we go from here? Now, my dear,
where do we go from here? Try a new coat.
mm-hmm.
Right after
can't win the war by fighting. Can't win a revolution
Everything please.
by revolting. Win it in your heart first. What do you want to do? Burn the city down. Or put a garden on the roof. Who's coming after you, baby? Who wants to clear your ass? Baby, pull out a joint and give me some gas.
No more copyright.
No more copyright.
No more copy wrong.
No copyright.
This is the time of justice and the night.
No more right and wrong.
More right and wrong.
No more borderline.
No more border lines.
No more lines and borders.
No more bind. You realize too.
That's it. Es este nuevo corrido que les enseño a captar de una bonita fecha que no les dejo a realizar.
The question is, do I take a nap first and then go out and go shopping? Or do I go shopping and then after the night? The absolute logical answer is nap first and shopping. Because spots is going to go down like fucking Godzilla after getting knocked by King Kong. You know what I'm saying?
Cuando derrama su sangre, teniendo muy Kurukshetra, y se me quita toda hambre. Ay, qué bonita es mi patria,
I could warm up.
con todito su maíz. En su madre cabrones, lárguense de mi país. Una bajeza
I gotta figure out who sells fish.
Pero mi tortura me la dejan sin la pero con la sana gusta lograr. Yo quiero meditar porque así quiero estar.
Well, enough of myself. See what else is on the TV while we finish this dinner. I don't know. These are the algorithm things, you know. I'm always curious about where the algorithms be. This is the first 3 videos it sends me. Another lockdown is coming soon. How a ferry dies. Gracias muchachos, se merecen la gloria. See Cuneo for president in Argentina. That they won the World
Pero
Cup.
el desprecio a Trump fue generalizado. Y la silbatina Trump salió del público argentino. Con lo cual, muchas cosas salieron bien, extremadamente bien. Prefiero una selección con el trapo de Malvinas y no una selección cagándose en la Argentina con la Copa del Mundo en la mano. O sea, nos chupa un huevo lo que se puede hacer.
Do we
La gratitud es otra. Es más, usted tendría que bajar del avión con la bandera de Malvinas y ser abrazado por todo el mundo con la marcha de Malvinas y mostrarle al mundo que para nosotros salieron campeones ustedes en el partido con los ingleses y nos importaba un lo que pasara ayer. Nos ganaron 1-0, ¿se entiende? En el alargue, ¿se entiende? Entonces, no perdamos tiempo en analizar nada. Perdimos porque nos merecíamos perder y toda la culpa es nuestra. Ya está. Ahora, gloria a los jugadores, muchachos. Hicieron lo que tenían que hacer en el día que lo tenían que hacer, todo el resto está perdonado, olvidado. Pasó a la historia. La épica que se construyó hasta el minuto en que se le gana a Inglaterra y se pone el trapo de Malvinas, eso es un mundial entero, ganado punta a punta. Va a ser posible que otras selecciones sean bicampeonas, pero lo que hicieron estos pibes contra Inglaterra no se les va a dar. La posibilidad de otra selección de tener en su haber y de poder bordar en la camiseta las Islas Malvinas, la tuvo Diego en el 86, que está hecha estrella, las Islas Malvinas, porque se ganó ese mundial, y ahora se cosieron las Islas Malvinas junto a las 3 estrellas, y es muy difícil que otra selección vuelva a tener la oportunidad, salvo que le ganemos una final a Inglaterra. O sea, que la próxima selección le gane la final con un gol con la mano en el minuto 122 y entonces diga, bueno, che, esto superaron lo que pasó en el 2026, pero para eso se tendría que reconstruir y reescribir una historia larguísima de episodios muy difíciles que se den. Entonces, ¿qué pasa hoy? Hoy está llegando la selección que humilló a Inglaterra y reivindicó la soberanía de Malvinas frente a miles de millones de habitantes de este mundo y generó un hecho geopolítico irreemplazable para la patria de los argentinos.
Thy medicine be thy food, and thy food thy medicine. Omar K.
Omar K. fella. Why does he bother so much about this stuff? So cheese, cream, tortillas, cheese, tortillas, burritos. A little bit of beans, maybe. Give us a little. This cheese I got. Finish the strawberries yesterday.
Con lo cual, la pregunta es muy simple. Si los caboverdianos pueden estar orgullosos de su selección como nosotros nos vamos a estar orgullosos de la nuestra después de lo que hicieron. Un minuto antes del partido con Inglaterra, eran una selección que jugaba para el orto y nada más. Que venían jugando partidos para el culo, eran horribles. Y tenían el culo de meterla. Contra Inglaterra todo eso se borró, se borra. Porque los tipos entran en la historia de otra manera. Porque tienen el diseño divino del momento oportuno de pasar a la historia, como Diego en el gol a los ingleses. Era ese día y era ahí, en México, en el Azteca. No había otro minuto, otro momento, era ese. Bueno, estos jugadores estuvieron en el minuto indicado, a la hora indicada, en el lugar indicado. Están tocados con la varita. Serán para siempre los jugadores de la selección que sacó el trapo de Malvinas. Entonces, la realidad marca que todo el resto queda borrado. Se indultan a sí mismos frente a la crítica que le podemos hacer. ¿Messi cambiará? Bueno, por lo pronto, ayer no estaba contento de que Trump le ponga la medalla. Ayer no se lo veía sonriente como en la Casa Blanca, haciéndose el boludo y sacándose fotos. Tenía cara de orto, trató de esquivarlo. Se notó un gesto mucho más adusto que el Messi absolutamente genuflexo de la Casa Blanca. Y jugadores argentinos que directamente ni le dieron la mano atrás y siguieron de largo. Por ahí el único error es que la presidenta de México no tenía la culpa, muchachos. Beso, la mano, no tenía la culpa la presidenta de México. Pero el desprecio a Trump fue generalizado. Y la silbatina a Trump salió del público argentino. Con lo cual, muchas cosas salieron bien, extremadamente bien. Prefiero una selección con el trapo de Malvinas y no una selección cagándose en la Argentina con la Copa del Mundo en la mano. En el Mundial de la Política, nuestra selección salió campeona del mundo. Porque el mensaje político más fuerte de este Mundial fue el trapo, las Malvinas son argentinas, y esa la mostraron nuestros jugadores y se la bancaron. Y Messi no estaba en ese grupo, pero se bancó el día después y dijo, en la Argentina se cagan.
Hello, my dear, how are you?
I'm good. I'm just working a lot lately because more after work.
What a pleasant
Something
surprise.
exciting though. Last week I was very proud of myself because I've been working at this place. It was a filler job after I resigned from the last one. This was an in-betweener, an old place I used to sell vacations at. So I went back there just to have a paycheck. And last week, I couldn't believe it. Usually and last week I was top sales and made $2,300 that I'll get next Friday.
You know,
I couldn't believe it. I did it. And this week I'm on my way to the same, but I'm going with weeks without real money. So I lost my front tooth. I swallowed a veneer. It finally happened.
when I hear you say that,
Oh.
and I think about the absolute fortunes that were spent on just one dinner by your grandfather in Venice and in Heidelberg and in
Oh, it's just
Zurich,
crazy.
and I
and,
think,
like,
where
they-
is all that money gone to? I
don't
get
know.
angry.
That
I get
whole
angry.
paycheck that I got is all going towards my fucking tooth.
Right,
So
exactly.
that was my
And
motivation.
you're the
No, that was my-
granddaughter of a billionaire. You're the granddaughter of a
Mm-hmm.
billionaire, and yet you have no money. How is that possible, Anastasia?
I don't know.
We gotta find out.
I do know. I
Well,
do
then tell
know.
me, how is it possible? What happened? What did you do, or what should you say that got you kicked out of that mafia of absolute monsters?
It was Ilya. It was Ilya. If Ilya would have never gone in there and done all of that he did, it would have been controllable, you know, because all the rights to the movies, all of it. The Monterey would still be here, okay? There would have been other properties that were sold to maintain Monterey if you rent it out. I mean, I don't understand any of it. I don't understand why you would sell Monterey for $1 million. I don't know why they did that. That was well over $1 million property. The pool alone cost $1 million to build. So I don't know. I can't really go there anymore, you know, because it's not paying my bills.
I think that's exactly the place you need to go. I think this
Well,
whole
you
narrative,
know-
this whole narrative is kind of very indicative of the historical moment we're living in right now. I lost my ranch and my cats, man. I'm pissed. I lost my ranch and my cats to some girl from who knows where, you know, because she took advantage of the law, she took advantage of the courts, she took advantage of everything, and my aunt and my cousin, who were supposed to be there to defend me, when I decided to give them my idea of what we should do with the money, turned against me. And I can't handle it anymore. I'm done, I'm through. I'm so angry, I'm running for mayor.
Well, I don't know how it's going to help you in Mexico.
Because any corruption in Mexico reflects the corruption in the United States. I went to the FBI in Oregon to tell them what was going on, and they said, oh, we have a jurisdiction problem, you can't really do anything. I went to Mexican police, and
Yep.
they said, oh, you know, you're not gonna get any justice out of this, don't even try. Fuck that
Nope.
shit, fuck that noise. Fuck that noise.
Well, come on, Sarah. Well, you're an American citizen, right?
Well,
Now?
I am,
Aren't you?
I am.
Well, come on. I have a...
With every
A
right in the
position.
world to run for mayor. And as mayor of
What
Los
are you doing
Angeles, I
for
can probably get a little justice, you know, for what's going on internationally.
doing for money.
Give a shit about the money, Stas.
No, I'm asking, how are you supporting
They took
yourself?
my cats. My cats are gone, man. My cats.
What did they do with them?
I don't know. I don't know what happened to my cats, but I do know that they're no longer under my
Yeah.
care.
How did these people, so your family was supposed to watch it and instead they sold it from
My uncle, cousin, Rene Bouchot, said to me, you know, first I sent him a bunch of papers in blank papers because trust, right? Family, trust, blah, blah, blah. And I said, let's just, he's at the beginning, before the cats arrived, he said, let's just sell the house. I'll get my part, your aunt will get her part, you'll get a certain percentage of the sale of the house. You can buy yourself a nice little apartment in Mexico City. I said, okay, fine. Then the cats arrived, and I said, well, I want to turn the house, once we win the house, I want to turn it into a sanctuary for cats. Now that my aunt or my cousin decided to support me in that vision. And now I don't have a house, and I don't have cats. Simple, right? Simple, simple, simple.
Yeah.
So, these little backroom deals and shenanigans are done. I'm finished with it. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna find out the truth, any which way I can. You know, and if I have to be mayor of Los Angeles, to do that, I'll be mayor of Los Angeles. You should be pissed too. Where did your millions go? Why don't you have Montabe? Why don't you have Guimel? Why don't you have
Well, you know, it's so crazy is all the people that had them, that took them from me, they're all broke. So they didn't even do anything smart with anything that they took. Like Pierre Spangler was the one that sold Monterey for $1 million.
My dad came to Los Angeles with $1 million. No more $1 million.
Yep, that's what he sold. Nope. No
He
idea
didn't
where
do
the $1
stupid-
million
he did stupid
went.
business.
I didn't get any. And that should have made, like, I can't believe Pierre Spangler out of all people. But you know what? He's just a shiesty, mean old man. That's what I think of Pierre now.
My dad gambled the money away,
So-
so it was his fault, and he acknowledges it, and it's no secret that he ended up homeless as I was, right? But your money, your grandmother told me, make sure that Anastasia gets her money. Make sure that Bash gets his money. Why? Because Bash was still alive. Bash hadn't died yet.
Nope. And you would have thought at least, like, when Bash did die, at least there would have been money to be able to bury my brother,
You know?
rather than having my mother and my brother buried in my front yard.
So all those things are coming together, all right? All those things are part of my campaign. All those things are part of the shit that I have to resolve. Because I'm done with it. I'm finished. I was very happy in my little house with my cats.
I know.
Chill. It was not a sustainable situation. The clock was ticking for me to lose that house and those cats. So I went ahead of it to make sure that if I lost them, there would be repercussions. And there's going to be repercussions. You know, this cannot go on forever. Fuck that noise.
Yep. Well,
And there's
you
more.
know,
There's a lot more. There's a lot more that needs to come out. A shitload.
Yep.
And you and
You know,
I,
it's interesting.
you and I, honey, we are the spearhead of that whole goddamn fucking mess. You and me. We're it.
Well, I mean, my brother would probably still be here if all that.
Well, you
Didn't
got other
happen.
brothers, you know. You have to get them online too. You got Orson.
They don't care. My other brothers want nothing to do with me, mainly because of, you know, yeah, Orson's so stressed out all the time about Deborah and you know, they don't leave him alone. Unfortunately, in that sense, where I don't want to put any more stress on him, and he's not going to defy Dad. He just won't. He's the only one that won't. And Alexi, he doesn't give a shit. Alexi makes super amazing money. He has a beautiful wife. He has 2 kids. I mean, it's just sad that Alexi won't even get back to me. Just like we're grown-ups. Let's, you know what I mean? Let's get to know each other.
His very early development, I spent with him. All right, when he was very young, I was one of his caretakers, guardians, with Maria Celli, who was his nanny. Maria was my intimate friend. She's already making movies now in New York.
Mhm.
He's got a lot to say about his father. He just needs to get it through his head. He needs to remember. He needs to go into those memories and just see what the fuck's going on. Good night. Good night. And listen,
I'll
I
have to
still
wait.
love your father. I love your dad. I love your dad. Don't get me wrong. I love your dad. All right?
Yeah.
But he also needs to face himself at some point.
Oh, that won't happen. I don't know what you're thinking.
You know,
That'll never
you
happen.
never know. You never know. What if suddenly Donald Trump took a shitload of acid and decided to become Gandhi? What if, I don't know, Elon Musk changed the ketamine for psilocybin and ayahuasca?
Mm.
What if Joe Rogan did a trip online for everybody to share with? Became totally transparent. Never say it's impossible. Nothing is impossible. Improbable, yes. Impossible, no, he's a human being. He's got blood and guts and bone. He's got a mind, he's got a penis, he's got an anus. Maybe he's got a chance. Maybe there's a chance that this guy will wake the fuck up. And then he can actually talk to you with the truth about everything that's going on. About everything that has gone on throughout your life and mine. And everybody else that's involved in this damn business. You know? I was there.
Yeah, I do.
I was there with you, girl. I remember you when you were a little girl. My goodness. My goodness. The things you saw. The things you lived through.
Well,
And I've told
you know,
you from day one that I remember, you're a witch just like your grandmother. You should acknowledge that and you should celebrate it. You should definitely go with that energy to remember what you are and how you can not get lost in it. Because when you open those gates, they are so powerful, so life-altering, that there's 2 routes. You can either become a shining light or the hole in the wall. Shining light or glory hole, basically, there's the two choices you have. And a shining light is not a bad thing. You know? That energy sucks. It sucks you right into it. It kind of like, it takes from you. It's a sucking energy. Because it's about youth and energy and strength and blood and a lot of shit that you and I know all too well.
Well, it's interesting. I'll read it to you. I found actual journal entries.
Yeah.
These aren't like me rewrite. This was my journal. This is one from 1999. It says page 3. Now the journal was torn apart, so page 1 and 2. But this says Christmas 1999. Jane had also mentioned in her fit of rage how she could not understand where in the hell I was coming from by giving her a book about a success story involving autism. I meant no harm by it. I thought that if she wanted all the information possible about how many autistic children go on to lead very fulfilling lives, the book might help. She did not take it that way. She thought I was insulting her. Meanwhile, my mom came in from the deck and had no idea what had been going on. I was very sensitive and had big wailing tears in my eyes. I was sitting on the couch in the living room. I had no idea where Jane was. I told my mom what had happened. She couldn't believe it. She gave me a big hug, and all I said was that I did not want to be somewhere. Obviously, I'm not welcome. I told my mom I would take the car and come back in a couple of hours. She told me that was unnecessary, and I should wait until she talked to Jane to see what was going on. We were both so confused. This is Thanksgiving Day, by the way. No, it's Christmas. It's Christmas. Okay, so my mom was the one who had told me at the bookstore to give Jane that book about autism. She thought Jane would like it. I guess not. I never let Jane know my mother, it was her idea. During all this, I still had not laid eyes on my father. This is at Bay Hill. My mom told Jane and me to sit together in the living room and talk about what had just happened. I said aloud to Jane, and I'm sorry if you feel I was trying to hurt you. I wasn't at all. I was trying to do was help. I didn't realize it was going to upset you. We all calmed down a little, yet Jane did not seem to care that I